Hello there, Roger Foster here, and today we're going to be taking a look at just plain old toasters. Toasters. Man, it's a love-hate relationship with toasters. Over here, we'll go over here to the messy table because I'm not done cleaning up yet because I got to clean up my toaster. But this here is my favorite toaster. You know, believe it or not, this old thing here, you know, it's hard to clean because it gets stuff in it, but makes the best toast. Is good, but you got to watch you don't get sidetracked. You burn a lot of toast. Problem I have is I like toast that's burnt a little bit but moist, and you're not going to get it in one of these type because the openings are too big. All the humidity comes out of the toast. These toasters over here, they trap the humidity in. They only got a small little slot there, you can see, and it keeps all the moisture inside the toast, so you have nice soft toast, not dry crumbly toast. But that's not my complaint. I got two toasters around the same generation, I guess. These are probably 1990s, and you know, and the other one I have is probably around the 2000s, Crocker Silex, you know, cheap entry level, you know, $20, I guess, you know, back in the day toasters. Now this one here, the problem is the inside of the bread cooks at half of the level as the outside of the bread, and the reason for this, I figure, is because the elements are wound on the outside as a half element. It's just hooked over a little tab and it runs back and forth. Around here they share one on the inside, so they go all the way around, which uses a lot more tungsten for the element, and there's more resistance, and it only lights up about half as bright. Just a second, I'll turn off the light here, and we'll take a look and see if we can get a look at it. See how nice and red that side is? And then look at the inside ones compared to, that's only about half as bright. You can still see the outside ones twice as bright as the inside ones. So it's creating twice as much heat on the outside, and that's good because you want it to cook it fast so all the moisture doesn't get out. But the problem is you get it either burnt on the outside, or if you set it up so that it's not burnt on the outside, then it's not toasted on the inside. So I got sick of playing with that one, and I went and bought this thing. Now this is on sale for 20 bucks, this thing. But before we go into that, these older type, they got a sensor down there on the one side for single slot, for a single slice, and that sensor senses the moisture content of the bread and stops the heat from the element from moving it over to trigger the off cycle as fast. So that's the way these ones have worked for years. Even back into the 70s and 80s, they've used that kind of technology, and it worked pretty good. You know, the only problem is usually the first slice comes out darker, and then once it's warmed up, the other slices all come out a little bit lighter, but not lighter and lighter every time. Just the next set of slices comes out a little lighter because it's warmed up the toaster. Now this one doesn't use that, so you can put the slice in either side, which may be good, and it's got a button there to pop it up, because this one here you can't just jam it up, and it works off a timer. This one's got a bagel setting, so wide slices. I'm not impressed with the look of it. At first I thought that was dented in. In fact, it is dented a little, but that's not what I'm feeling there, because that's just a slight little dent there. What I'm seeing is a reflection of the tab down at the other end. There's another piece of chrome there, and it's shiny, so it makes it look like there's a dent, like somebody didn't fit the piece right. So it's just in the style and the way it's made. This thing here is sticking out a little bit at the bottom. It's got a little bit of a dent in there. No pride in anything anymore, just whip it together in China. But what bothered me is I put a piece of toast in, okay? Toasted okay on the outside. But what we have here is we have too many windings at the top half. So the bottom half turns out not too bad. The back side turns out not bad. But the top half, or the top, third, actually burnt. But that isn't what pissed me off about it. What pissed me off about it is when it popped up, the damn thing shot out of the frickin' toaster. Like, it's crazy. Like right now I got it in there now. We'll see if it'll do it when I push the eject button to pop it up. Oh, this time it just flipped over. I'll put it in the way that I had it before. Okay. And there you go. Do people not test products these days before they frickin' put them on the market? I mean, it's totally ridiculous. I don't want to be getting up in the morning and have my toast on the frickin' floor while I'm getting some coffee ready or getting some juice out of the fridge, man. I mean, everybody is a frickin' fucking moron nowadays. I mean, you can't buy anything that works anymore. People just don't test things. They're supposed to work. So here, I got this one that's going to go back. This one was on sale for $20.99. Now they got another one, a Hamilton Beach one that's cheaper. It's $15.99. So I think I'll be trying that one and see if it works any better. If it doesn't, I might be stuck with having a toaster that wants to pop the toast out, and I'll just have to sit a plate beside the toaster to catch it. I mean, this is just totally retarded. Yeah. So that's it for now. Crazy frickin' people. Okay, we're back again with another toaster, and actually I got a couple of them here. This one here is the Betty Crocker. I kind of like this one because I like the red. I like the way it sits sideways. It gives me more counter space as opposed to being underneath the can opener here and having to pull it out, because I usually use this area here for spatulas and stuff when I'm cooking. Now this one here we'll get to in a minute, but this is the one here, the Betty Crocker. This one, stay away from it. It's garbage. They all look pretty much like they're made by the same company in China or something. There's a few subtle differences, but the elements, this one here looks almost identical to the Sunbeam that didn't toast properly. This one here, this will toast one side of the bagel. So if you're a fan of one-sided toasted bagels, I guess it's for you, but you have to hit the bagel thing twice, because doing it one shot doesn't cook it enough to brown it. So I had to do it twice. Secondly, even with regular toast, I always got to struggle and lift this extra boost thing up here to get the thing done. And with bagels, the back slot, the lower one, the lower third of it, doesn't get toasted very much. So it's not a very good toaster. This one's going back. It looks nicer. Like I say, I thought it was metal. It said metallic and that, but it's just the paint job that's metallic. So it's going back. Didn't like it. Another thing, the toast, when it's toasted close to what I like it, it comes out very hard and very dry, and just didn't like it at all. This is like $40 Canadian retail at Home Hardware, and they can have it back tomorrow. This one here is another one I got. This one here is the Bella, and I did a lot of reading reviews, and there was a lot of good reviews and a few bad ones on this. There was nothing on that, and they all look like they're the same. They all pretty much got these stupid little pull-out crumb trays, which leads me to believe that, you know, the mechanisms themselves and probably the computer things are all pretty much the same now, but they don't work the same. This one here, believe it or not, I didn't like it at first because it's all metal, so at least I think the sides are... No, the sides feel plastic. But this is nice. I like this as opposed to the brush stainless. This is nice polished, so it doesn't show as much fingerprints. You can wipe them off easy. It does seem a little light and a little flimsy. What I didn't like about it is when you're pushing the handle down, right, if you push it out near the edge, when you get down to the bottom, it kicks up on the back end. But if you hold it with your thumb to the back side and push it down, it works fine. So this one here, the temperature settings I guess are a little sensitive, but I have it at almost 3, like just over 2.5, and that toasts it pretty good. And I found the toast was very moist and soft, like cooking with my old Faithful here that needs a good cleaning. This has been the one I've been using for the last few years, and it needs a little bit of work done to it. The main reason I've been wanting to retire that one is the dogs have been, or not the dogs, the cats have been distracting me a lot. I've been burning a lot more toast. So I figured it was time to get another one, and the problem I had is I had 3 others and none of them worked either. They were from like the 90s and 2000s, and they toasted good on one side and not on the other. The Bella toasts perfectly on both sides, at least I find it's the closest to perfect, and the bagel turns out perfect. It toasts at both sides, nice golden toasted bagel, and not burnt on either side, and I didn't have to put it in twice. This one, regular price at Canadian Tire, was $39.99, and like I said, this one here, it's plastic sides there, but it's metal in here. The only thing with this one is it stinks a lot when you first put it on. Some smoke comes out, so what you have to do is put it near the range hood, plug it in, turn it right up to 6, and then push it down, let it go until it pops, wait 2 or 3 minutes and do it again, do it 3 times, and that'll burn everything off. Then you can turn it down and set it to your desired darkness for your shading for your toast. What I don't like about this, and a lot of them are doing that now, is having the damn plug come out the front, and it's very short, so it wouldn't reach up here. So what I did is I cut the one off of one of my old ones and I put a plug on it just as a mini extension cord, and then I can just poke it down the hole there, the excess, you know, so it won't be a problem. And like I say, this is the one that I'm going to end up keeping. Even though it's not necessarily the best looking one, this is the Bella Diamonds collection. They come in several different colors, but I think Canadian Tire only carries it in the black. That's all that they had listed. I might even try putting it sideways and putting it over here in place of this one and see how it works like that, because the buttons are there, easy for me to access. Once that's set, I should just have to memorize it for the number for different types of bread, because unfortunately what happens is all these ones have gone electronic and they don't have any moisture sensing bimetal strip in them anymore. None of them. Any of the ones that got the computer thing that have the electric pop-up, all that stuff, it's all gone to a digital timer circuit. So it just timer, then release, timer, then release. So you can't really get good toast that way. It's very hard to, because if you get one loaf of bread that's drier than another loaf of bread, you know, that's white bread, you're going to need to change the setting. If you change types of bread from like regular white bread to whole grain bread or whole wheat bread, Either one, you're going to have to change the settings. So that's one thing that I don't like about these new ones, is because they're all timers as opposed to the old Proctor Silex of the 70s where they had the bimetal strip in there, and that bimetal strip would sense the temperature of the toast, and it would also sense the humidity content. So if you put in a frozen piece of toast, it would take longer to toast it, but when it was done, it didn't come out burnt, it came out normal. And they worked great. They worked great for years. And I guess it's too expensive to make those. You know, they actually called it the brain back in the 70s on the Proctor Silex. And now the Proctor Silex, which is also Hamilton Beach, they're garbage. Their bottom of the line ones sell for like $15 to $20. And there's all problems with the wire, the little grates in there, they're so thin, they're thinner than these, and nothing but problems with a lot of them because they're all made in China garbage. And like I said, I'm not too impressed with the looks of this Bella, but I'll tell you, it functions good. It does what it should do, toast evenly, and it doesn't burn the bagels. It toasts both sides. It doesn't over toast it on the back side, so I'm happy. That's as happy as I'm going to get. Like I said, this one here is basically $40. And I guess that's what you get for your $40 nowadays. I read a lot of reviews on more expensive ones like Tefals and stuff like that have problems with the pop-up things breaking, and the ejector thing to push it up even higher because they got a separate knob on them, that breaking. And well, that's it. My struggles for a new toaster, I think, are over for now. Hopefully it'll last a little while. I can't say as to how long these cheap Chinese crap are going to last, but I guarantee you it probably won't last 5 years, let alone 10 or 15 that an old toaster from the 70s would last.